Mike Tyson is returning to the ring on July 20th. Some fighters feel a little bit weird about this. How do you feel about it?
Only fighters.
What's that?
Only fighters who are not paid and not getting laid. They're the fighters who are jealous. Negative people who are not making any money.
Tyson Fury has just given a brutal warning to Jake Paul ahead of his fight with Mike Tyson. Meanwhile, the lively encounter between both fighters on Monday sparked rumors that their fight might be staged. While both Tyson and Paul swiftly denied these claims, another question remains unanswered. Are these people too amiable to carry out Paul's threat of a war? Tyson is referred to by Paul as Uncle Mike. Tyson, who is 57, thinks of Paul as a favorite nephew. Will it be a hug fest or a slug fest when they get into the ring? George Foreman, the Hall of Fame boxer, said, "We all should have been showing more affection all along. Once the bell rings, instincts come alive." Two-time middleweight world champion Winky Wright claimed to have fought a few boxers he thought of as buddies. He said, "At the press conferences, I can laugh and joke, and after the fight, I can laugh and joke. I have no problem with that because that's not the fight. For me to be going around being angry and mean, that ain't going to make me fight no better. When you box, you gotta be able to think and be able to focus on what you want to do." Wright proposed that friendship could influence Tyson in a unique way, given that during his prime, Tyson fought with a killer instinct. In fact, Tyson has openly stated that his desire was to literally end his opponents. Without the killer instinct, could Tyson fight Paul with the same ferocity? Wright replied, "This is not a real fight. Texas has authorized the match as a professional bout, yet Wright refers to it as an exhibition due to the modified fight rules, which include 2-minute rounds instead of the usual 3, and the use of 14-ounce gloves rather than the standard 10-ounce gloves." Wright said, "They're going to go out there and throw some good punches and try to hit each other. But at the end of the day, remember, it's Mike Tyson at 58 on the day of the fight. I hope they have fun. I hope nobody gets hurt. And it is what it is." Flyweight fighter Mark Johnson, a 3-time world champion, laughed off the notion that friendship could get in the way of a fight. He said, "No, it really can't mess with your intensity. One thing about me was even when I did the face-offs or I did the weigh-ins, I didn't do any of the gritting that they do now, looking you in your eye till somebody turns away. It was nothing like that. For me, it was only business." He mentioned that when you enter the ring, you aim to knock his opponent's head off, reflecting Mike Tyson's sentiment. He explained that it didn't matter if someone approached the press conference or the weigh-in a friendly manner. Once they were in the ring, something about it caused an adrenaline rush. He said, "When I get in that ring, I'm going to try to knock your head off." That's what Mike Tyson is saying. So it doesn't really make a difference if you're coming at the press conference or the weigh-in friendly. Once you get in that ring, when they sing that national anthem and they say, "The home of the brave," it's just something about that. You get amped up. George Foreman hinted that another revelation was on the horizon. He said, "Be careful with Paul, only because Paul has tricks. Tyson gets hit with one punch at his age, you start to hear funny noises." The buzz in the combat sports world is electric as fans eagerly await the showdown between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. A burning question lingers. Will this highly anticipated clash be an exhibition match or a bona fide fight? Tyson has stated that he doesn't see his fight with YouTuber turned boxer Jake Paul as just an exhibition. Nevertheless, speculation has continued, and when questioned, Dana White mentioned that even the Athletic Commission was unsure about the true nature of the bout. White mentioned on the Pete and Sebastian show that he believes that the Texas Boxing Commission hasn't fully determined the nature of the upcoming fight at Dallas, Texas Stadium. He noted that the commission is still uncertain about whether it will be a real fight, adding that Tyson wants it to be genuine.
Has really figured out what this is going to be yet, because it's happening in Texas at Dallas, Texas Stadium, and the commission, I think, is still wavering on whether this is going to be a real fight, or I think Tyson wants it to be a real fight. I think the other side wants it to be an exhibition.
What's the difference? I mean, what does he just take off a little off the punches?
Moreover, Dana White explained why Tyson decided to face off against the problem child. White highlighted that Tyson, even as a former champion, still commands substantial earnings from ventures beyond the boxing ring. White noted, "I mean, Tyson still has that aura. You can be at a restaurant and he walks in and you're like, holy f***, Mike Tyson's here. You know, he still has that type of aura and energy in a room. And he makes lots of money outside of the ring. I think that he ends up getting these offers that he can't refuse." Most combat sports athletes who have weighed in on the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight are overwhelmingly siding with the seasoned boxer. For many of them, witnessing Iron Mike dismantle his opponents was a formative experience, and now he's stepping back into the ring to face a YouTuber. The mere anticipation sends their stomachs churning, yet they find themselves compelled to proceed. However, for certain warriors of the combat sports realm. The response to this impending battle transcends the ordinary. Consider Angela Hill, a seasoned UFC veteran, whose visceral reaction to the impending spectacle defies expectation. She harbors a strong aversion to the notion of Mike Tyson squaring off against Jake Paul, and she's not just sitting idly by, she is concocting some imaginative suggestions to dissuade Tyson. In his prime, fresh from prison, Tyson was an intimidating force, especially evident in his legendary bout against Evander Holyfield for the heavyweight championship. While expectations for their rematch were high, nobody could have foreseen the tumultuous turn it would take. In a pivotal moment of frustration, Mike Tyson etched an indelible mark on sports history by sinking his teeth into Evander Holyfield's ear, forever altering his career trajectory. Now, Angela Hill is clamoring for a repeat performance, urging Tyson to deliver a similar fate to Jake Paul. Fueled by genuine animosity towards the YouTuber, Hill, known as Overkill, embodies the collective disdain. Yet, despite the fervor of Hill's plea, Tyson's recent demeanor suggests a departure from such extreme measures in his impending bout with Jake Paul. Angela Hill said, "I wish it wasn't happening, but you can't knock Tyson for wanting to prove himself, wanting to get back in there for real." I feel like every time we see one of these old legendary fights, we're disappointed, and they just look their age, you know? And it's kind of a shadow of their former self. Hill expressed her mixed feelings about the upcoming fight. She mentioned that she wished the fight wasn't happening, but she understood Tyson's desire to prove himself and return to the ring. Hill highlighted that these types of fights involving old legends often end in disappointment, with the fighters appearing as mere shadows of their former selves. Despite her reservations, Hill admitted that she would love to see Tyson get in the ring and land some punches on Paul, humorously suggesting that Tyson should even bite him as a nod to the MMA fighters Paul has defeated. She added, "But what I would love is for Mike Tyson to get in there and lay some hands on Jake Paul, and then, maybe bite him, give him a little nibble, you know? Take something for the rest of the MMA fighters that he's taken out, you know? Do it for Team MMA. But yeah, I don't know who's gonna win." Hill emphasized that the fight is unpredictable, describing it as a freak show fight with too many variables to make a clear prediction. She acknowledged that it's not a fair fight, but recognized that such mismatches are sometimes the only way certain fights can happen. She added, "And it's just it's one of those things that you just gotta see it happen. It's a freak show fight. There's no way to predict because there's so many different variables. It's not a fair fight, but at the same time, I guess that's the only way this fight would happen." British content creator, pugilist, and integral part of the Sidemen Collective, JJ, affectionately known as KSI, graced a recent installment of the Sidecast episode to delve into the historic clash of YouTube titans involving his sibling Deji and the formidable Jake Paul. Rewind to 2018, where JJ squared off against Logan Paul in a bout that ended in a stalemate, while concurrently, Deji engaged in fisticuffs with Jake Paul, who emerged victorious in that encounter. Criticism has been directed towards Deji for his insufficient preparation ahead of the bout. In the most recent Sidecast installment, delved into how Deji might have clinched victory with more rigorous training. He thinks that the Deji versus Jake Paul fight set off a chain of events that eventually led to Jake and Mike Tyson's impending fight. KSI stated, "Deji is the reason we have Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson." Deji, renowned as one of the United Kingdom's top YouTubers, with a massive subscriber base, blazed a trail in the flourishing phenomenon of YouTube boxing. The inaugural clash with Jake Paul garnered widespread attention, catapulting into viral fame. Regrettably, despite a valiant effort, Deji found himself on the less triumphant end of the ring. Meanwhile, in response to skeptics of the upcoming spectacle, Tyson Fury shared his perspective. He dismissed the critics of the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight, suggesting that the criticism came primarily from envious fighters, particularly those who weren't earning money or enjoying personal success. He pointed out that these negative individuals, who had nothing to gain from the fight, were simply expressing their jealousy. In contrast, Fury expressed a positive view, stating that he believed it would be a fantastic fight that would generate significant revenue.
Fighters.
What's that?
Only fighters who are not paid and not getting laid. They're the fighters who are jealous. Negative people who are not making any money and are not set to gain anything from this fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. I think it's fantastic. I think it's creating a lot of money. One for Texas, selling out all them tickets, and that means drinks, alcohol, food and beverage, everything for the local area. Big influx in dollars being spent in the local area.
Fury emphasized the immense economic benefits the marquee event would bring to Arlington, Texas, projecting significant revenue from ticket sales, food and beverage purchases, and substantial influencer spending in the local area. He also acknowledged the positive impact on both Mike Tyson's and Jake Paul's camps. Additionally, Fury noted that both teams were benefiting financially from the fight, with many people being supported and rents being paid. He expressed confusion over the negativity surrounding the event, stating that he was thrilled about it and looked forward to seeing the legendary Mike Tyson back in the ring in his era, which he found fantastic.
And then you got, obviously, all of Mike's teams are being fed, and all of Jake's teams being fed out of it. So there's a lot of mouth being fed, a lot of people's rents are being paid. So I don't know what's to be negative about it. I'm over the moon for it. Looking forward to it.
You'll be watching.
I get to see the legend in Mike Tyson back in the ring in my era. Fantastic. I already saw one him against Roy Jones. It was fantastic. So I get to see him again live and exclusive as an adult. What a treat.
Tyson Fury raises a valid point about the potential benefits of the fight between Paul and Tyson. However, there are certain hazards to be aware of. The main focus of discussion around the Paul-Tyson bout is the staggering 30-year age difference. At 27, Paul is considerably younger than Tyson, who is 57. This significant age gap has sparked curiosity among fans and analysts, raising questions about the fairness of the match. Pundits also caution Tyson to be careful, given the potential risks his age and inherent vulnerabilities pose. Dr. Stephen Hughes, a seasoned lecturer in medicine at Anglia Ruskin University, highlighted the risks of brain damage facing Tyson. He explained that the formidable forces Tyson might encounter could lead to the rupture of cerebral blood vessels. This concern is further compounded by the advanced age of the boxing league's participants and their past struggles with alcoholism. Hughes said, "Keeping fit protects against cardiovascular disease, and Tyson's exercise regime will benefit him greatly. However, the temptation to overdo it in the gym is always there. Extreme exercise can lead to cardiac fibrosis, scarring of the heart muscles, which over time may lead to heart failure or sometimes sudden passing. Concerns about Tyson sustaining an injury are valid, yet he defies typical expectations for a 57-year-old. Tyson stands as a titan in boxing history, boasting unparalleled success and expertise. With an impressive record of 50 wins and 6 losses, the former undisputed heavyweight world champion undoubtedly approaches every match with meticulous preparation. Jake Paul, with a formidable 9-1 record, also approaches this match with utmost seriousness. His transition from social media luminary to a contender in the ring is a captivating narrative, earning recognition even from the likes of Tyson Fury for his remarkable evolution. Fury further remarked that Jake Paul and his brother Logan had done fantastically well for themselves, acknowledging their accomplishments despite his rivalry with them. Due to Tommy Fury, he noted that he had to be honest about his perspective, praising Jake and Logan for their journey from being young kids to becoming multimillionaires, YouTubers, wrestlers, and boxers.
And then you got like Jake Paul, him and his brother have done fantastic. You know, I know we've got a rivalry going on with Tommy and that, but I got to speak how I see it. Jake and Logan have done absolutely fantastic for themselves. From becoming like young kids to be multimillionaires and YouTubers and wrestlers and boxers and everything else and entertaining. So I know they've got a lot of haters and stuff. However, I'm not one of them. I'm a fan and I support it. I support people going in and making lots of millions of dollars out of boxing, my sport.
Meanwhile, Evander Holyfield, the former undisputed world champion in both the cruiserweight and heavyweight divisions, recently offered his insights on the fight. Holyfield started by discussing the stylistic aspects of the bout, taking into account Tyson's age and Paul's youth. At the time of the hypothetical fight, Tyson would be 58 years old, while Paul, a rising YouTube and boxing sensation, would be 27. Holyfield stressed the significance of confidence in boxing and speculated on how the dynamics of the fight could change depending on each fighter's approach.
See what can happen.
Yeah.
Because it's with the confidence the other guy. I don't know how much confidence that Jake Paul have in all this, but he's gonna be a lot quicker. And if he stay close to Mike, then his chance of winning gonna be great. But he try to stay back from Mike. He gonna get caught.
He underscored the importance of managing distance in a fight against Tyson, pointing out Tyson's remarkable speed and ability to exploit opponents who keep their distance. Holyfield explained that if Paul were to stay close to Tyson, his chances of winning would increase, given Tyson's reliance on generating power from his legs. However, maintaining too much distance would expose Paul to Tyson's deadly counterattacks. Holyfield refrained from making a definitive prediction, stressing that the outcome would hinge on Paul's performance. He raised concerns about Paul's ability to absorb punches from someone as powerful as Tyson, whose strength remains formidable despite his age. Holyfield emphasized the unpredictable nature of boxing and the crucial role of self-belief in securing victory, drawing from his own experiences as a fighter.
Mike is like a snake. He'll pop out on you. He get there too quick. But if you charge him, you're gonna smother everything. because everything he push off his legs. He push off his legs so he too close. Like this, but if you give him room, I mean, everybody get knocked out going backwards. Like this, you give him room, you're gonna be messed up.
Do you see Mike winning or do you see Jake winning?
I don't know. It's all depending on how Jake fight. You know, I tell you what, if it's cause somebody gonna tell him it's too crazy to be trying to get close to the guy. He gonna stay like that. Mike like he get in and he curve up like this and snap out and get you.
Addressing the potential impact of a loss for Tyson on the sport of boxing, Holyfield offered a nuanced perspective. While acknowledging Tyson's legendary status and the significance of his contributions to the sport, Holyfield emphasized that a defeat should not overshadow Tyson's remarkable legacy. He highlighted the resilience and enduring power of Tyson's punches, underscoring the importance of strategy and conditioning in overcoming formidable opponents.
You don't get in these things if you don't believe you can win. I'm saying that's my whole thing. I ain't never fought when I ain't think I can win. Every time I ever got in the ring, I thought I was gonna win. I'm like, I'm gonna give my all. I'm like, so the whole big thing is that's the whole process of being a true fighter.
Holyfield also addressed the financial disparities within boxing, using Paul's success as an example of how non-professional boxers can earn substantial incomes compared to their professional counterparts. He suggested that Paul's success could lead to a reevaluation of compensation structures within the sport, advocating for fairer pay for professional boxers. Reflecting on his own journey in boxing, Holyfield shared personal anecdotes and insights into his approach to the sport. From his devout Christian faith to his disciplined training regimen, Holyfield emphasized the importance of integrity, hard work, and perseverance in achieving success in boxing.
It's a thing where that both fighters make a lot of money, but I think Jake Paul, they kind of show everybody else and boxing that, hey, if he can make all that much money, why we ain't making all this much money? Because the fact of the matter is because it's different. He in a professional is a whole different line of boxing, and it just show you that the boxing that they do, they make all the money.
Holyfield's analysis offered a comprehensive examination of the potential Tyson versus Paul matchup, drawing on his wealth of experience and deep understanding of boxing dynamics. His insights illuminated the complexities of the sport and the broader implications of high-profile matchups within the boxing world. On the other hand, Mike Tyson has openly expressed his apprehension about potentially spending the rest of his days confined to a wheelchair, a concern that looms as he gears up to confront Jake Paul. Before the fight, the 57-year-old appears in excellent shape, and his punching strength has spectators in awe. However, Tyson has experienced back problems lately. In 2022, the boxing icon was seen using a wheelchair. Later on, he disclosed that he suffers from sciatica, a back ailment that usually strikes those in their 30s to 50s, and Tyson has now opened out about his troubles. In a video that he posted to his Instagram feed, Iron Mike claims it's a miracle he gets to go back into the ring because he was afraid he would have to live the rest of his life in a wheelchair. He said, "Listen, it's a miracle. I didn't know what was going to happen in my life. I was scared I was going to be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. You get so, I don't want to say depressed, discouraged. Your back hurts. There's nothing I can do. I'm useless." The previous exhibition battle Tyson engaged in with Roy Jones Jr. ended in a draw. That was back in 2020. But Paul will be a difficult test, particularly considering that the 27-year-old is a full 30 years his junior. The two have drawn criticism from many, with Deontay Wilder fearing Tyson would get unconscious as a result of their fight. However, that won't stop the legendary boxer from entering the ring. In July, the veteran is anxious to turn back the clock. Speaking last month, Tyson claimed that people who were critical of Paul and him were only being jealous. Tyson said, "I'm 58, and what? I'm getting billions of views from just talking about fighting. Everybody, even most of the athletes, they're jealous. You couldn't sell out an arena." He further added, "Who at 58 can sell out an 80,000-seat arena? Why do you think he wants to fight me and not anybody else? All the boxers want to fight him. Their parents might not even come to watch them." And last week, during a press conference in New York, Tyson reiterated his position. He stated that those who claimed he was too old to fight wished they were in his position, asserting that no one else could achieve what he was doing. He emphasized that no one else could captivate the sporting world as he and his opponent could. Tyson said, "Who else can shut the sporting world down? No one else can do do it. You got the both of us, so we're going to do this. We're friends. There's no doubt we're friends. But in the ring, we're not going to be friends. That's just what it is. As the countdown ticks down to the electrifying clash between boxing titans Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, anticipation crackles in the air like static before a storm. With merely 2 months left until they step into the ring, both contenders are honing their focus to razor-sharp precision. Their journey towards this moment has been marked by relentless promotion, offering glimpses into the crucible of their rigorous training regimens within the hallowed halls of the gym. Earlier this month, event coordinators solidified the bout's inclusion in the boxers' professional records. Now, insights are emerging regarding the dynamics of the impending clash. Despite its status as an official exhibition, notable alterations in the regulations are anticipated. Notably, each round will span a condensed duration of 2 minutes, deviating from the customary 3-minute format. Tyson explained the rule change in a recent press conference. "I wanted the shorter rounds because I wanted more action. If we only have 2 minutes, we'll fight more." A maximum of 8 rounds will be exchanged between the two fighters, and Iron Mike has no intention of giving up easily on the YouTuber turned pugilist. Once he's in that ring, he has to fight like his life depends on it, because it will be, he stated plainly. Paul hasn't held back from matching Tyson's intensity when he talks loudly. He wrote on social media back in March, "My sights are set on becoming a world champion, and now I have a chance to prove myself against the greatest heavyweight champion of the world, the baddest man on the planet, and the most dangerous boxer of all time. Time to put Iron Mike to sleep." Make sure to check out some of our other videos on the screen if you enjoyed this one.